As the Chicago Bears head into one of their most anticipated seasons in recent memory, a new sense of urgency surrounds the franchise. After another disappointing finish last year, General Manager Ryan Poles has taken a more aggressive approach to reshaping the roster, especially on the defensive side of the ball. From key free agency additions to a pivotal draft, Poles' plan is clear. Build a team that can win now and finally change the Bears' trajectory. The most recent buzz surrounding the Bears involves Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson, a proven pass rusher who could immediately elevate Chicago's defensive line. The rumors began circulating after Hendrickson requested a trade from Cincinnati amid contract disputes. While he still has a year left on his current deal with a base salary of $15 million, his desire for long-term stability and guarantees prompted him to seek a move. Enter the Bears, a team in desperate need of an edge presence who can get to the quarterback consistently. Poles has been calculated with his moves this offseason, but there's a growing belief around the league that he's preparing to take one more big swing, possibly by acquiring Hendrickson. The move would align with Chicago's win-now mentality, especially with rookie quarterback Caleb Williams under center and a young, reshaped offensive core ready to compete. On defense, the Bears made significant strides last season, but still lacked a consistent pass-rushing threat. Adding Hendrickson would address that need in a major way. In free agency, the Bears bolstered their roster with the addition of safety Kevin Byard, an experienced and savvy defender. They also invested heavily in the offense by drafting Rome Odunze to complement DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. These moves set the tone for an offseason focused not just on development, but on immediate impact. Yet the defensive line remains a work in progress, and that's where Hendrickson comes in. From a strategic standpoint, the Bears' current edge group, while showing flashes, is still developing. DeMarcus Walker and Dominique Robinson have potential, and Montez Sweat's late-season arrival brought much-needed firepower. But pairing Sweat with another high-level rusher like Hendrickson could transform the Bears' front into one of the most dangerous in the NFC North. Poles has shown patience in roster building since arriving in Chicago, opting to take a measured approach during the early stages of the rebuild. But with a new franchise quarterback, a fortified secondary, and a receiver room full of playmakers, the time to wait is over. A move like this would not only fill a glaring need, but would also send a strong message. The Bears are done rebuilding. They're ready to win. The speculation has ignited fans and analysts alike, wondering if Poles is ready to break character and make an aggressive mid-off-season move. After all, the Bears have both the cap space and the draft capital to make it happen. With Hendrickson's trade request now public and his relationship with the Bengals on uncertain ground, the possibility of him landing in Chicago is more real than ever. In this evolving offseason story, Trey Hendrickson could be the final piece to an aggressive push for playoff relevance. His impact wouldn't just be felt on the field, it would ripple through the locker room and set the tone for the next chapter of Bears football. The Chicago Bears defense under head coach Matt Eberflus is built on principles of speed, discipline, and relentless pressure. While the team has made progress in some areas, particularly in the secondary and linebacker core, the defensive line remains the final piece that needs reinforcement. That's why Trey Hendrickson is such an ideal fit. His arrival would not just complete the puzzle, it could redefine how the Bears attack opposing offenses. Hendrickson has consistently been one of the most productive edge rushers in the NFL over the past 4 seasons. Since his breakout year in 2020, he's racked up double-digit sacks every season, becoming a force in both run defense and pass rush. In 2023 alone, he posted 17.5 sacks, cementing his reputation as one of the league's premier edge defenders. His strength lies in his explosiveness off the line and ability to win quickly, traits that are tailor-made for Eberflus's one-gap, attacking defensive scheme. Adding Hendrickson to the lineup would not only boost sack numbers, but also relieve pressure on Montez Sweat, who carried much of the pass-rushing load after joining the Bears mid-season. The presence of two premier edge threats would create one-on-one matchups across the line, potentially unlocking interior defenders like Gervon Dexter and Zach Pickens. Suddenly, a unit that felt average would become dynamic, deep, and dangerous. But the fit goes beyond just the X's and O's. Hendrickson is known for his high motor, toughness, and leadership. In a locker room that's still developing its identity, his intensity could elevate standards across the board. He's played in high-stakes games and understands what it takes to win in January. That kind of experience is invaluable, especially for a team led by a rookie quarterback and guided by a coaching staff still fighting to prove itself. Moreover, the Bears' defense needs an emotional leader in the trenches. While the secondary is led by Jalen Johnson and the linebacker group features cornerstone players like Tremaine Edmonds and T.J. Edwards, the defensive line hasn't had a clear voice since the departure of Akiem Hicks. Hendrickson can fill that void, not just by producing on the field, but by holding teammates accountable and setting the tone in practice. The urgency is real. Eberflus is heading into what many believe is a make-or-break season, with the Bears holding 2 first-round picks in the most recent draft, including number 1 overall. The expectation internally and externally is to compete for a playoff spot. No more excuses. No more developmental timelines. It's time to produce. Hendrickson's availability aligns perfectly with that mandate. While other edge rushers might be available via free agency or late summer trades, few offer Hendrickson's combination of proven production, scheme fit, and veteran presence. He is not a project or a gamble. He's a known commodity, and he's available at a time when the Bears are in position to pounce. The trade wouldn't be cheap, but neither is winning. If Poles is serious about giving Eberflus every chance to succeed, and about giving fans a product worth believing in, then adding Hendrickson is the kind of move that speaks volumes. It's not just about getting sacks, it's about getting serious. While the potential addition of Trey Hendrickson makes sense on paper, executing the trade comes with its own set of challenges. First and foremost is the cost. Cincinnati is unlikely to part with one of their most productive defenders without significant compensation. A second-round pick is likely the starting point in negotiations, and depending on how desperate the bidding becomes, it could escalate to a package involving a day 2 pick and a young player. For the Bears, the question becomes, how much are they willing to give up for what may amount to a 2-year rental? Hendrickson's current deal has 1 year left with no guaranteed money, but he'll undoubtedly want an extension as part of any trade. The Bears have the cap space and the financial flexibility to make that work, especially with a quarterback on a rookie deal. But committing long-term to a 30-year-old pass rusher does carry some risk. Poles has been careful not to overcommit to aging players, preferring to build through the draft. But the reality of today's NFL is that windows close fast. With the NFC North up for grabs and no dominant team clearly ahead of the pack, this could be the time to take that calculated risk. The right trade now could set the Bears up not just for a playoff berth, but for real postseason success. Another consideration is Hendrickson's willingness to sign an extension in Chicago. From what's known, he's seeking both guaranteed money and a longer-term commitment. If the Bears can offer that security while giving him the opportunity to play in a system that suits his skill set, it's a deal that could benefit both sides, but it must be carefully negotiated. Overpaying in draft capital while also giving out a hefty new contract could backfire if performance declines or injuries arise. There's also the Bengals side to consider. While Hendrickson has formally requested a trade, Cincinnati is under no obligation to comply. They may wait until closer to training camp, hoping for better offers or attempting to mend fences. The Bears would have to monitor this closely, keeping lines of communication open while preparing alternate plans. If Hendrickson becomes unavailable, Chicago may turn to other veteran options like Carl Lawson, Emmanuel Ogbah, or even consider making a run at a cap casualty later in the offseason. Still, all signs point toward a team on the verge of making a bold move. The Bears front office has positioned itself well, with cap space, young talent, and momentum on their side. The Hendrickson situation may prove to be the defining decision of this offseason, one that reveals how serious this team is about shedding its rebuild identity and finally moving into contender status. For now, fans watch and wait. But behind the scenes, conversations are likely already happening. A pass rusher like Hendrickson doesn't come around often, and if Poles believes this is the final piece to the puzzle, then the time to act is now.